Hello, Froggy here, and I'm back at the Strand diving board. When I explored this area way back in the day, I did not yet know how to sparrow fly, and I knew if I ever learned it, I was going to have to come back because there's so much to see. As a brief refresher, this is underneath the Strand, and you can fall down into the Ascendant area, and as long as you're on your sparrow, you will stay. But the second that you get off, you get teleported way up into the air. And if you have a sparrow, and sparrow flying in your arsenal, you can fly basically wherever you want, as that puts you outside of the box. You can see there's a bit of Harbinger's Seclude out there. The real interesting thing is this whole city. It's surprisingly detailed for being way out here. And where we're heading, if you just caught a glimpse there, is even crazier. That's right. It's the whole Shirochi encounter. Not only that, but the plates are solid. No idea why they're solid like this, but makes for a useful place to set a safe spawn point, so you can explore the city as much as you want. The first time I got here, I actually accidentally landed a sparrow on. It was quite a shock. You can see the underside of the plates are solid. And there's multiple layers of this, of course, just like in the raid. So if you've done this raid a bunch, you'll notice that there is something a bit off, and it's not that the plates look a bit big, it's that everything else is small. Well, there's Gardens of Elysia out there. I'm playing all this footage a bit fast because there is a lot of it. But yeah, this is the room where you would normally be doing the tic-tac-toe boards. See, there's a nice little wall right in the middle of it. And this doorway is a whole lot smaller. And here's about the end. Let's go see how the normal one looks. So just starting off on the plate here, you can see that everything is much larger. And of course the inner room has all of its lovely spinning platforms. Nice wide hallway. You can't actually see much of anything out in the distance. Too much fog. And of course the next place you go. Back in the Strand, just giving you one more comparison here. Not sure exactly what the scaling factor is, but maybe something like a fourth? Yeah, if you notice there's like that little fog effects, I went back to play with that a little bit. It's kind of neat looking. I also ran into something else that amused me a bit here. It's coming up in a second. So, did you catch that? I went over to have a bit of a closer look. And it's one of the dev textures. There's a few of them out here in this whole cityscape. This one surprised me a lot. Yeah, let's head out and see what else we can find. So around here, I started to notice that there were some lights floating in the air. And I'll see if you can guess what they are before we get to the end. Of course, I went over and checked to see if they're solid. And they were not. Would have been pretty nifty to stand on more things out here. Let's get a closer look at those ones. So is this ringing any bells for you yet? And how about these ones? Here it is in the third week of the curse. You can see there's a lot more particle effects. Definitely doesn't make it easier to see. Now here's a hint, if you haven't already figured it out. There is a vertical tunnel of lights. And here's week one. I spent a decent amount of time looking around here. So now we're close enough to see the tunnel in all its glory. And the view from below. So when I was confirming what the lights were, I noticed an interesting thing in the Queen's Walk area, in between the vault encounter and where you fight Riven. This door appears when you're in the Hall of Souls. However, you can run around to the other side, and when you're in Queen's Walk, the door is gone. So you can backtrack. And jump down this hole. This hole with a tunnel of lights. Oh, and there's Bog over there. Hello, Bog. So as you can see, those lights that we saw floating are on the ground here. And some candles. And the circly things, too. Sadly, of course, the chests weren't out there. Would have been nice to see some floating statues, too. But yeah, I wasn't able to find anything from the Riven encounter proper. But who knows? Maybe there's something. Yeah. there's a lot of pretty stuff. I would highly recommend coming out here on your own and doing some flying or learning how. Probably do a follow-up video on some other neat things I found out here. But until then, happy exploring.